Hey, it's Jonny Keeley here, and in my last video we talked all about Instagram guides, what they are and what you can do with them. In this video we are going to go through a whole load of ideas and inspiration to get you thinking about creating Instagram guides and what they can do for you, because I think Instagram guides are going to be amazing for the Instagram platform. So as I said, I'm Jonny Keeley, and this channel is all about photography, creativity, social media, and all the things around it. So if that's you, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Okay, so very quickly on Instagram guides. This is a new feature. They are not very discoverable. Not many people are using them, but when they do and when they are discoverable, I think this is going to have a huge impact on the platform, and it's going to really change the way content is consumed on Instagram. So this video is intended to inspire you and get you thinking about what Instagram guides you can apply to your niche to get the most out of Instagram. The first idea for an Instagram guide we're going to talk about is a travel guide or a journey guide for a photography trip or something like that. The example I'm going to put on the screen now, this is Lloyd Evans. He's a fellow photographer. He's amazing, so make sure you go check him out. I'll leave a link to his profile. But you can see that he has put together a travel guide for the NC 500, which is the North Coast journey around Scotland. This is quite a well-traveled journey. Lots of people go on this, and he's put together his posts from his journey that he did this summer, and it's a really, really nice way of showing all those different spots. And you can see that this is going to be really valuable to somebody who is going to go on the NC 500. So again, whether or not these are going to become really discoverable and you're going to be able to search them out, we don't know, but I would imagine Instagram will start to do a really good job of putting these guides in front of people. So if you're a travel Instagrammer or a photographer or something like that, putting together a travel guide could actually make your account really discoverable based around the particular places that you go. Now the next idea, and this is a really simple one, this is something that everyone could have a go at. Just share your top 5 posts or your top 10 posts from your own account. Really simple. You could probably go into a bit of detail about what made you take that picture or what the post is about, because you have that extra bit of text. But you know, it doesn't have to be just your top 5 posts. You could put my top liked posts in November, because remember, a lot of your new followers won't have seen your old posts, so it's a really good way of bringing your best work right back to the surface again so everyone can enjoy it, especially all your new followers. Another really simple idea, and this is going to be good for artists, illustrators, things like that. You could do a collection of your work. So remember that you've probably posted lots of different stuff to your feed over the time, but you've probably got some that actually sit together in the right collection. So for example, you might have typography, or you might have a particular style of illustration or a particular location where your paintings are from. And then you can give a little bit of extra context into the artwork, and I think it'd be really nice for your followers to be able to get a bit of extra insight. So for example, how was it done? How did you put it together? Or even just why did you put it together? The next idea, this would be great for, again, travelers, travel Instagrammers, hikers, wild campers, is what to pack. For example, you could put together a list of all the different items that you recommend to take on that journey. So you could have 20 items essential for travel, or, you know, what do I take on a wild camp? So one thing to bear in mind is that you have to consider whether you're going to be using products or your own posts. You could use saved posts as well if you don't have all of the content. But the point I'm going to make in this video is that you need to maybe think ahead. So if you're going to start making these guides, probably start posting the type of content you want to use in your guide a bit further down the line. So that's, for example, that's what I've done. I've started to be mindful about the type of content that I'm going to share now, because I'll probably want to make a guide out of it in a month or two. As far as I'm aware, you can't just use an image. It has to be a post. So you have to have posted it in the past. And you don't really want your feed to just become your next guide. You know, if I'm going to do a post about, 10 things here, I don't want to just post all those to my grid. You have to think ahead and start thinking about the kinds of things you're going to post. So in the example that we're using, where you could put together a packing list for hiking, for traveling, think about that, look at your feed, see what you've got already, and see whether you could use any of that and compile it into a 5 essentials for travel, or what to bring on a hike, those sorts of things. It could be a really interesting idea, and you can just take that and apply that to your niche as well. This next idea could be really good for fitness Instagrammers or yoga Instagrammers, those sorts of things. Now, on the last one, we talked about the fact that you have to post content that you've already posted. Now, if you are a fitness Instagrammer, you have probably posted progress updates throughout your grid. So for example, maybe you are working on a particular aspect of your fitness. I bet you that you could pick maybe 6 to 10 different posts all the way back and talk about the progress. So if you go back to the beginning of your feed and you were going out running, maybe you ran a 5K in a certain time and you talked about that. You could put that at the top. Then maybe, 6 months later, maybe you posted another one similar to that and you ran a 5K in a faster time, or you ran your first 10K, that sort of thing. So you could actually put this progress update, and then you could call the guide something like, my progress update, my running progress update, or, my weight loss journey, those sorts of things. And you can have a nice progress update through a guide to take those posts that maybe you've posted over the last 3 years, 5 years, could be 1 year, who knows? But you could take those little individual posts, post them into one guide and call it a progress update. I think that one could be a really interesting idea, and I don't think many people are going to have done that. Now, the next idea really just disregards the posts altogether. Remember, when you are posting a guide, you put in a post, but you also have a caption. Maybe we think about the caption is the main focus of the content, and the post is largely irrelevant. Let's think to those Facebook posts. You remember, they became kind of memes a bit, but the Facebook post where you'd have like an inspirational quote and it would just be set to a landscape image of a sunset or, something like that, a scene, a tranquil scene. And, really the image was irrelevant. The content that we were supposed to be inspired by was actually the text. So you could put together, maybe it could be a well-being or wellness guide, and really the caption is the main content that you are trying to bring, the original content that you're trying to bring, and just add in some posts. It could be anything. It could be something that complements the caption, or maybe it is just something that you like. It could be a saved post, your own post, whatever it is. The point I'm trying to make is that it's not about the post, it's about the caption. And once you start thinking about it that way, you can really apply that to any niche. So the next idea, another one for travel Instagrammers, and it's very similar to the first one that we talked about, but it is really specific places. And you can see that guides have already been designed for this. So for example, you could do where to eat on a particular destination. And I think when Instagram makes these guides really discoverable, who knows what they're going to do, but if for example, they take a city or a location or a popular holiday destination and they make it so that the best top, the top guides from that location, where to eat, best hotels, those sorts of things. If you've made those guides, you're going to get so many more eyes on your profile because people are going to come across and read your guide. That's not how it works right now, but Instagram must be thinking of it that way. They must have designed it for that reason. If they do make it this way, then travel destination guides are going to be huge on Instagram. They're already huge in publishing, so on Instagram, if they're really discoverable, I think those will be a really, really good place to start, particularly for most Instagrammers who are, basing it around travel and destinations and things like that. Now, again, this is for me, so if you are enjoying this, if you're getting something out of it, please leave a like and comment below which one of these you're getting most excited about. That really helps me out and it pushes my video onto more people, so I'd really appreciate it if you could do that. Thank you. The next idea, we've talked a little bit about the difficulty with guides is that if you haven't posted the content already, then it's going to be difficult for you to create what you want to create. But one way you could do this would be to create top posts from your set niche. So for example, I'm a photographer, specifically a landscape photographer, so I could create a guide that was my 10 favorite landscape photos from November. And it's a really, really nice way of enabling others to discover content that you appreciate. And I think, as I said, you can really apply this to any niche. So top posts, top 10 posts for this, top 10 posts for that. I personally like the idea of doing it month on month because that means I could keep creating content and it gives me the excuse to keep doing it and to keep finding new posts because, as we know, Instagram moves quickly. Now, another one that we can apply to pretty much any niche is to educate people. So for example, maybe you have a food Instagram. You could put in your favorite recipes from your own grid. You could put in, much like the last one, your favorite recipes from other people. Or if, for example, you run a tutorials Instagram, you could just put together, for example, Photoshop tutorials or Adobe Illustrator tutorials. Maybe you have a fitness Instagram and you have set workouts. You could put those together in a group and create educational guides. Obviously, Instagram designed them for this. They design them in a way that makes it so that you can take particular subjects and create rich content around that subject. So if you are an educator on Instagram in any way, think about how you can expand what you already do to become, the person for these guides. As we know, when Instagram put out a new product, they bring that product to the forefront. At the moment, they don't seem to be with guides, so I think they're probably trying to figure a few things out. Who knows? Maybe it's just a small thing and I'm just really, really excited about it. But I think that Instagram are going to make a big deal out of this. When they become more discoverable, they are going to be huge, in my opinion. So it's definitely worth the time. When you're thinking about these guides, it's essential that you plan ahead, because as far as I know, like I said, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that you can only make guides out of posts. That means you can't upload from your camera roll. You couldn't make a guide based on something that you've just taken photos of. You have to have posted those photos. So that means you have a few weeks, a few months to start posting the kind of content that you might want to include in your guides. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm also going to start thinking about what guides I can make out of my existing content. So let me know in the comments which of these ideas has got you inspired, which are you going to try, and what applies to your niche. Feel free to come over and say hi on Instagram. I'm at It's Jonny Keeley, and remember to hit the like button on this video if you found it useful. And if you want an overview video for Instagram guides and how they work, I'll put that up on the screen right now, and thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you in the next video.